Welcome to our review on negative feedback. When we talk about negative feedback, what we're actually referring to is a very important type of control mechanism which is used in that process of homeostasis, which hopefully you remember is the maintenance of a constant internal environment. Now, the way this actually works is that the very small change in one direction is detected by receptors, and then the effectors actually work to reverse that change and restore the conditions to the normal level. So to give you an idea of how this works, it's probably easier to think about it as a little circle, so a cycle. So what we have is the conditions in our body are going to change from their set point, first of all. That change is detected by a receptor, which then activates corrective mechanisms in the effector, which returns those conditions to the set point we've got, and as a result of that, the corrective mechanisms are switched off. But obviously it's this constant cycle of sensing what's happening, so that as soon as there's that deviation from the normal, then what we see is we trigger that change. So let's consider one example first of all, and the example we're going to look at is thyroxine. So thyroxine is produced in the thyroid gland, which is located kind of in your neck, and it's going to regulate the metabolic rate of the body. So the way it does this is it's actually going to take iodine, which you consume in your food, and convert it into thyroxine by joining it with the amino acid tyrosine. Now, the reason that this is important to us is that thyroxine is going to control the amount of energy available to cells. And depending on how much energy a cell has, it is going to determine what it can actually do. So I've set out a little flowchart there for you, just like that cycle we looked at a couple of slides ago. And the whole idea behind this is to take the basic principle of negative feedback, but then put it into a specific example of our thyroxine. So the first thing at the very top there, we can see the hypothalamus detects the low level of thyroxine in the blood. So as a result of that, we get a change in our effector, which is TSH, which is a hormone, is released by the pituitary gland, and it then stimulates the thyroid gland to make thyroxine. The hypothalamus will then detect the normal level of thyroxine in the blood, so it sends a signal to tell the pituitary gland to stop making TSH, and the thyroid then stops making thyroxine. So what we have is this endless little cycle whereby as soon as the levels of thyroxine are low, TSH is released by the pituitary gland, which stimulates the thyroid gland to make thyroxine, bringing the levels back to normal. Then we turn off that mechanism, and then if obviously the thyroxine levels drop, the hypothalamus detects that, and we turn it back on again. So the second example we need to know about is adrenaline. Adrenaline is produced in our adrenal glands, and it prepares the body for this fight or flight response to stress. So as a result of adrenaline being present in your body, what you'll find is your cells are respiring faster, you've got an increased breathing rate and increased heart rate, but in addition to that, your body's also diverting blood away from things like your digestive system and sending that blood to your muscles, so they're getting a greater amount of oxygen and glucose just in case you have to make a quick dash for it. Now, the way that our adrenaline is controlled is in much the same way that we've looked at for thyroxine. When you're threatened or scared by something, your brain signals the adrenal glands, they secrete the adrenaline, that's going to travel through your bloodstream to all those different target areas and the target organs. And we see those responses that we've looked at there, the increased breathing rate, increased heart rate, etc. When we remove that source of the stress, then the signals to the adrenal glands will stop, they then stop producing adrenaline, and then your body systems return to their previous state. Hopefully at the end of this video you can now describe the role of thyroxine in the body and the role of